Today is Tuesday. I didn't have much going on at work this morning, so we're going to take the midday and the afternoon to do some book-related stuff. So this should be really fun. The weather is questionable at best, but I don't mind getting caught in the rain, and yeah, I'll be able to find some place to hide out, I'm sure. So I'm gonna take you somewhere that I've been several times before, but we're going by a new form of locomotion. The Ho Chi Minh City metro opened a few months ago, and I still haven't taken it yet. There's only one line, and it goes to a part of town where I don't need to go every day, so I still favor the motorbike. And yeah, but I wanted to try it out today and see what the future is going to look like in Saigon. It's counterintuitive, but I'm going to drive the motorbike down and park it underneath the metro station and then take the metro into the downtown. And we're going to go to a place called Book Street. But yeah, we'll go to a cafe and do some writing because my critique partner wants the next installment of the book, so I need to get down to business. But yes, let's go. Book Street.
Next station is Vietnamese.
So really out of body experience, like feel like I'm not in Saigon, but I am. And yeah, it's really cool. I saw some things from the metro. I was like, I didn't even know that was there. So there's a nice park that I'm going to bring my daughters to, and I now know how to get there without taking a car. So that's awesome. But now I got to get my bearings and figure out where Book Street is. Hold on. It's cool to be down here with not driving a motorbike. I feel like I'm going so much slower. I can actually see things. I'm outside of Louis Vuitton, where I do not belong. And over here is the famous Opera House. I drive by it a lot, but I never stop and really look at it. And this is one of those cursed, like, non-intersections where, like, you don't really know if you're going to make it across and if you're going to live. But I think maybe I should go down to find, like, a semi-corner, and then from the corner I can navigate across, like Frogger style, more easily. But yeah, I'm so excited to be out here, like, showing you my adopted city and the place where, you know, my dreams are coming true. I'm writing a book. I've written one book already. I'm writing a second book. I'm raising my kids. I have a career. Like, everything's finally coming together. And yeah, it's wonderful to be doing it here. And here's how you cross. You just go. A lot of people make videos about crossing the street here, which I find hilarious. But now I'm also doing it, so I'm part of the problem. So what else did I want to talk about on this vlog? Basically, being an alien resident in another country and writing a book, whether that book is set in the place where you're living or not, it's just incredibly inspirational, motivational, and it just brings out some things in you that you didn't know were there. You're feeling a lot of extra emotions because you have this, like, maybe sense of detachment from who you really are at home, and you get to be somebody else every day if you want to. And yeah, I kind of do that. Here's the Opera House, looking really cool. Got some gorgeous trees here. I don't know what those are called. I need to find out because That's really cool. It's like a palm tree mixed with like a maple or something. Like, I don't know what that could be. Here's the drink stop. City bikes. It's like any other city, really, just a little bit more chaotic. But we have a ton of like cafe action over here. Okay, we have arrived at the fabled Book Street. It's really like the only street in the city where you're not going to be run down by a motorbike. Like, I see a few parked here, but I'm kind of honestly surprised because it's a very pedestrian area. And yeah, it's really just a whole bunch of books. I do want to look at the English books over here and see if there's anything that I really need to have. Although I do read most of my books in an ebook format just because I never know when we're going to move again, and I don't want to have like stacks of books that I'm going to have to part with and find somebody that will actually read them and find a good home for them. So I've got to keep that in mind. But maybe I can find a book that's by a Vietnamese author in English translation that speaks to me. I've read a few and I'd like to read some more. So maybe I can get a hold of one of those today and then cafe, keep it moving on. And some people are definitely looking at me, but I somehow just don't care, and I'm vlogging in public, and I never thought I would do this. So we're all changing. We're all growing up. It's really great. Okay, I'm going to look at these books. So it seems like my options are kind of down to these two, and I've already read The Sorrow of War. This one called Dumb Luck is interesting, but I don't know if I really want to read something that's like mid 20th century. I'm looking for something that's like now, because that one was published in 1936, and I don't know. And then these two, like, I don't really want to read anything about prostitution in colonial Hanoi, and I don't really want to read about the war because it makes me feel really bad, maybe as it should, but like I'm just not into it. So yeah, I don't see a lot, and I definitely don't want to read a book about Vietnam that's written by like a historical book about Vietnam written by someone from the US or France, because that just seems like not my thing. Yeah. So options are limited. I might fail in my objective here, but a trip to Book Street is always fun for me because it kind of gets me in the headspace of wanting to read like a million books, and like all the books that I have bought an ebook that I haven't finished yet. So it makes me want to read on my Kindle and makes me want to find some more physical books. Coming here now also kind of makes me think like I am dreaming about the book that I am querying right now one day being sold here in English and in Vietnamese translation. That would be the coolest thing, to have my book about Saigon sold in Saigon. But that's just kind of maybe a silly dream, but something that keeps me going, keeps me writing, and I'm going to go right now. That sounds like the best thing to do, but I'm going to find something to drink, and then I'm going to go and write. This place looks unnecessarily trendy, but also like I want juice. Like, and that it has juice in the name, so it's probably where I should be, right? I'm going to do a dangerous just walking across jaywalking situation here. But yeah, I'm gonna try some juice. Let's see. Xin chào. Ooh. Pineapple and guava? Yeah? Yeah. Somehow the audio in this clip from inside the juice bar was even worse than the audio from the street on Book Street. I guess I should have foreseen that the noise from the machine that they use to make the juice in the juice bar would be pretty loud. And there was also just noise from the street outside and snippets of conversation from the table next to me. So yeah, my bad for trying to film in a busy public place. Although I did say some things in this clip that I wanted to share, so now you're getting voiceovers in first person past tense narrative instead. First things first, as is healthy and sane and natural, I checked Query Tracker. The agent who had requested my full manuscript the previous Friday rejected a new adult mystery on a 5-day turnaround, which gave me hope that I'd have an answer soon. As of recording this on May 29th, that submission is 12 days old, and I'm still waiting. The other full that I have out now is at 98 days without a response.
I know that 3 to 6 months is an acceptable time frame for replies to full manuscript submissions, but I really want to nudge and just ask if she actually received my manuscript since it was an email submission, not on Query Tracker. What do you think? Is that the right thing to do? Tell me in the comments if you would nudge at this point. Then I blah blahed a little bit about the manuscript. I was at 51,093 words at this point, and I continued to ramble about getting to the midpoint like I did in the last vlog. At this point, it was starting to feel like some mythical plot point, like the Atlantis of this drafting experience. I questioned whether this book actually has a B plot that's strong enough. Since my story is first person, it's hard to really follow the B plot that's geographically distanced from the main character. The B plot is something that she's aware of, and she actually dreads all outcomes in different ways. But I've intentionally made it so that she can't easily know what's happening to those characters who are her friends. This is one of the themes of the book, the idea that people under authoritarian regimes are prevented from openly communicating and live in fear for the lives of their loved ones. So I guess that's a B plot, right? But it's that B plot that's kind of slowing me down from getting to the midpoint, but it's also building tension. So I think it works. Next, I walked back to the metro station, and the ride home was actually eventful. A woman in sequin shorts and a film crew boarded the train. I was so excited because I thought they were filming a music video, but then her manager sat down beside me and said hi. So I asked, and he told me that she's an influencer and that they were shooting a TV series. So still interesting, but no dancing. It wasn't school pickup time yet. So I hopped to a different cafe in my neighborhood to squeeze as much writing time out of this afternoon as possible. Okay, so it's been a pretty good day in terms of writing. Even though I've been out running around and doing a lot of other stuff, I've written 945 words today, which is like really good because it's only 4:30 in the afternoon, which means I still will have some writing time tonight. And yeah, I don't know. Some days are just so much more productive than others. And honestly, I feel like what I wrote today was like good. Like I'm proud of my work for today. And most days I am. Most days I walk away and say like, yeah, that was pretty good. Oh wait, 923 words. Getting a little ahead of myself here. But yeah, I am that jerk talking in a coffee shop, but no one's here. Like literally no one's here. Which is surprising. Well, this place is really nice, but maybe it's that time of day. Um, it's a slow time of day, so I can be in here chatting. And yeah, so I have to leave, sadly. It's pickup time, and got to get back to the other things that I have to do in my life. But yeah, it's been a nice little break today. I'm glad that I was able to take you around and see some things in Saigon for this for this vlog. And yeah, I hope that I'll be able to check back in tonight and maybe have an even higher word count for the day and talk a little bit about what part of the book I'm actually writing, because keep saying that I'm almost at the midpoint, I'm almost at the midpoint, but it's elusive. And how will I really know when I get to the midpoint? What if there's still another action ahead of me that might feel more midpointish than the midpoint that I think I'm writing? Does everyone else have the same problem, or am I just not plotting and therefore not 100% sure like where things fall in my narrative, and that's the reason that lots of people plot instead of pants? Like, I don't know. I always have a lot of questions, and I need to stop comparing myself to how other people write, but it's an inherent part of the process because so many writers share information about what they do in their craft and their method for writing. So yeah, it's easy to get in your own head and think, am I doing it right? Like, I'm not actually a professional, so I don't know. Maybe I'm doing this right, maybe not. And maybe doing it wrong is kind of fun. So I might just keep on doing what I'm doing. And yeah, but I did send some more chapters to my critique partner. I only sent her 10,000 extra words, so she's probably going to blow through those in like 20 minutes. She's a very fast reader, I've found. So yeah, at least I gave her something. And I got, because I left her sort of at a cliffhanger where like a door was about to be opened, literally in the story, and left her standing outside the door. So at least I've rescued her from that cliffhanger and given her something to kind of go on. But now I've left her at a different emotionally critical point of the book. Like, basically, she's going to just be in suspense, I guess, until whenever I finish this thing. And like, deadlines should be flexible and soft, especially when they're self-imposed. And I did want to finish this draft by May 31st, but today is May 20th, and I'm just over 50,000 words, and I don't know if I can finish this draft in 11 days. And I guess it would be possible, but I would have to be getting a lot more done every day than I have been lately, and I don't know if I want to, if that makes sense. Like, I want to finish the draft, but I also just don't want to stress myself out for literally no reason. Like, it doesn't matter when the draft gets done, it just needs to get done. So I might push that deadline out. I'm gonna look at my Notion and think about like pushing some of those and pushing these like self-imposed deadlines out further, and that will also move the starting time of my next book back a little bit, but that's okay because my plan right now is to finish this first draft and let my, I don't know if they're beta readers, let the people who are close to me, who I let read my work, hand it off to them, let them read kind of my shitty first draft and see what they think about it. And that will kind of help me to shelve it, because I'm one of those people that I have a lot of trouble with like writing something and then I want to turn around and start keep working on it more and more and just edit it, and that's probably not the best way to come at it. I need to give it some room to breathe, because that's a mistake I made with my first book. So I'm going to give it some room to breathe, and maybe by starting the third book while I have the second one sitting on the shelf is the way to go. But yeah, so yeah, like I said, I need to just get into my Notion later and look at how my timelines are going for both of the books and ease up on some of those deadlines, because I don't need to be in a hurry. Like, it's going to be okay. But yeah, okay, I should go and pick up my kid because I don't want to be the last mom there. But yeah, okay. So it's now Wednesday, May 21st, but it's only 6 minutes after midnight. So really, is it really Wednesday? Mm-hmm. Um, Yeah, so I managed to get in 2 writing sprints just now, and I wrote over 1,700 words total today, which is like incredible. Like I rarely write that much in one day, and yeah, it's really good. And I did hit the midpoint finally. Like, and I was being silly earlier when I was like, will I even know when I've hit the midpoint? Yeah, I know that I hit the midpoint because it's this point of no return that I think that it's expected on some level, but it comes in a way that maybe the reader won't be looking for or won't recognize that it was leading up to that until it happens. And then it's going to hopefully be one of those, oh, and the reader's going to think about all the things that they had noticed, but maybe didn't put together in this way. And then there from the midpoint, there are going to be so many ripple on effects, and it will carry what hopefully will be a lot of action through to the end of the book now. But yeah, I'm over 52,000 words, and I'm really hoping to keep this novel around 80,000. 90 would be pushing it. So yeah, the ending is kind of like in sight, and that's really fun and exciting. And I did have a look at my Notion, although I didn't actually change any dates, but that's going to be a tomorrow task because I'm pretty wiped out. Yeah, I'm looking forward to continuing writing this week, meeting with my critique partner, and I have a lot of ideas for my next vlog. I want to continue to do these vlogs that sort of have like a theme, but they're still informal and not scripted. Um, so, yeah, I hope that you're on board for that. If you're interested, please subscribe so that I know you're interested and so that you'll remember to keep coming back. But yeah, and also, go ahead and like this video and comment and tell me what country you would like to write from. You might think it's impossible, but it might just be within reach. But that is the subject for yet another vlog. Bye.